What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, the real Grimmy Tim. Face reveal. So today I wanted to discuss the new SMG in Modern Warfare 3, the Superior, and my first impressions of it. Now, it's a pretty decent little gun, not gonna lie. It's pretty good. At close range, it's awesome. It absolutely shreds. But the minute you get outside of 10 meters, it takes a little bit more time to kill. And outside of that, yeah. As you can see, it loses accuracy. The bullet drop-off is crazy. Like, the damage drop-off is nuts. So your best bet is going to be using it inside of 20 meters. Now, how does this stack up against some of the other SMGs that we've gotten in this game? Now, I will tell you this is the bare bones. Like, there's no attachments on this. Right now, the only thing I've unlocked is this barrel, the Hound's Guard Heavy Barrel, which, as you can see, is not really the type of build you want to go for on SMG, since you lose so much sprint speed and sprint to fire speed. And you also lose, aiming walking speed. But that's not what I really wanted to point out with this attachment. As you saw, it gives you a heavy increase to aiming idle sway, right? Watch this. That is still a lot of sway, especially for an SMG, such a lightweight weapon. And you also get bullet velocity and damage and range. But as you can see, doesn't help much. Like, even with this massive increase, because it was a, this is ridiculous. Yeah, even with this massive increase, it still underperforms. Like, you get plus 22% in range, plus 23 in minimum damage range, and you get plus 27 in bullet velocity. Yet outside of 20 meters, I don't know. It to me, it's underperforming. Now, it is. I haven't leveled it up yet. Obviously, it's still level 1. But I'm just being honest. I don't see it really becoming a meta gun. It's good. It's not great. Yeah. I mean, considering we got this in this season, in this battle pass, in this season update, yeah, the car is definitely the superstar of this season. I mean, the car absolutely is a monster. And this is the build that I run for it. Like, right now, I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's super fast. Oh my god. Don't ignore that. That's one thing I don't like about it. Like, with this build, I don't get too many hit markers. As long as I don't hit him in, like, the dick or anything. But it's super snappy. It one-shots at a decent range. And this is a mobility build. This is not even a damage range or a bullet velocity build. This is just a straight-up mobility build. And look at this. At 50 meters, it's hit scan. So we got this gun, which is an absolute beast, and then we get this mid SMG. I mean, it's absolutely mid. Like, even when you mount, you still get a little bit of idle sway. It becomes a little bit more reliable if you mount. But look at that. It's not, like, let's see. 4 shots to the body at 10, right? 5 shots at 20, right? And 6 beyond that. I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough. It's really not. I mean, like I said, if you're really going like close quarters combat, like you're in a tight map, doesn't have a lot of long angles, doesn't have a lot of long sight lines, or it's like high rise where you can go underneath. This is a good gun for you. But anything like derail, what's the new map? Paris. Unless you're sticking inside the buildings in Paris, Tokyo, which has a buttload of long sight lines. What else? Afghan. This gun is just not going to cut it. Any map where snipers tend to like camp, this is just not going to be a good gun for you. That being said, if you're in a like Rust, maybe Shipment, Shoot House, Grow House, this gun can perform. Definitely. Not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's mid. And for an SMG, I mean, considering the alternatives, you got the Ram 9, which even after the nerf is still absolutely an amazing SMG. You got the Rival 9, which got buffed. After it got nerfed, it got buffed. Absolutely amazing gun. The HRM 9, which is still really good. The Striker 9, which is really, really good. The Uzi's kind of mid. But we got the Lockman Shroud, which we now have an aftermarket part for. If you guys didn't catch any of those videos, we now have an aftermarket part for the Lockman Shroud, which turns it into a full auto SMG. A really good full auto SMG. This build is not really made for range. This is more of a mobility build, but it's really good. The only thing is the reload is way too long. If you're going to run this, definitely consider putting on the mag clip for faster reload. But it's really good. This kit is really good. Another one that a lot of people didn't know about because it got kind of heavily slept on, because nobody is really going to use it, which I don't understand why not. It's a really good aftermarket part. But we got a new aftermarket part for the Renetti, which turns it from a burst into a semi-auto. And it's really good. Like, it's very, very powerful. It's really good. Now, is it as good as, say, the carbine kit aftermarket part? No. This thing absolutely still shreds. Take that off. And the bigger mag. Yeah, this is usually the build I run for this. Now, it will not do good at range. I'm going to tell you that right now. Anybody who's played this game knows this thing does not do good at range. But it's not meant to. This is meant to be... This is meant to be your gun, like, I have it on a different setup. I think it's this one. Yeah. So when I was first going through leveling up the car, this was the build I was using, because I didn't have any of the good attachments unlocked yet. So this is just like what I was running. It's basically just a range build. Just meant to prevent you from getting hit markers at range. And this is the scope that comes with the car. But I was running this as my secondary. Because at medium to long range, I had the car. So medium long range, try to get in some quick scopes, right? And if I came across an enemy who tried to rush me, switch out. Boom, they're going. So the other aftermarket part, or not aftermarket part, conversion kit, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. You know, a lot of people. Oh my god, I hate this glitch. I hate it when it does that. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad at all. For a pistol or a semi-auto pistol, I should say, it's pretty good. And you can put 50 rounds in the thing. So, it's not horrible. It's actually really accurate. There's barely any idle sway. But it's not even as good as the base Renetti. Like, if you take off the Intimidated, if you take off the semi-auto conversion, it's like not even, it doesn't even match up to this. At range, at close range. Like, that 2 burst. You can 2 burst people with this thing. Which is the equivalent of 2 shots with the semi-auto. Right? So, it's not as good. It's not bad. It's just not as good. 4 shots compared to 2 bursts. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But it's still fun to mess around with. Definitely fun. But those are the 2 what's the word I want to use? Shadow in things that they included, because I didn't really see anything in the patch notes, but here they are. So yeah, the Kar 98 and the Superi, out of the 2, Kar 98 definitely wins. It's very mid. It really is. And I'm not just saying it in terms of range either. It's just a mid-performing SMG. The Rival outperforms it. The Striker outperforms it. I'd say even the WSP9, the Uzi, that outperforms it. You know? But it's something new. It's fun. It's interesting. It's got almost no recoil. Like, this thing is a laser. The only thing that will really make you miss is the aiming idle sway. Aiming idle sway on this thing is really bad for some reason. And it shouldn't be, considering it's an SMG, so it's very light. That makes no sense. But there it is. It's not, again, it's not bad. It's just, it's not that great. It's really not. When you see all these YouTubers who come on and they say, oh, best new SMG, new meta slayer, they're just hyping up the weapon because that's what Activision pays them to do. And oh, that's another thing. Hipfire on this is actually pretty decent. Close range. It really is. You know? It's actually really good. But yeah. In my opinion, it's just a very mid SMG. Again, I haven't leveled it up. I haven't got a full build on it. But when you're talking about weapons, like whether or not they're good or bad, you gotta remember, everybody starts at level 1 with these things. Not everybody can afford to go into the store and buy a blueprint. So most people will start out at level 1. So you need to give a review of a weapon without all the attachments on it. I'm sure once you unlock all the attachments, you can do some crazy builds with it. Just from what I've seen, it seems pretty standard attachments. You know, recoil control, extended magazines, flinch resistance. This actually might be worth running. They all just seem like kind of standard. This has got the rounded stock that's not no stock. That's a rounded stock. But like, you could probably make a full mobility build and it would do really decent because this thing is made for close quarters anyway. And you could do like a full-on mobility build and just make it so that you're getting up close and in people's faces. And it would probably do really well. But just base model, very mid. Very mid. Considering we got the Ravager kit. Is that what it's called? The Ravager kit? Hang on. Yes, I have a BP-50. Revenger kit. Sorry, Revenger kit. I was close. Considering we got this thing last season, and this thing has not only broken the meta, but stayed on top, and not just in Respawn and multiplayer, but in Warzone as well. Yeah. The car coming out was fine. This thing, however, not this thing, the Superi, I don't know, just feels kind of underwhelming. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I feel like they could have did better. I feel like they could have did better. What I think they should have done, and I'm not the only person who feels this way, by the way, is bring back the original UMP-45. A lot of people say, but we have the UMP-45. It's the rival SMG, right? And if you look at the rival SMG, it does kind of look like a UMP, kind of. But in my opinion, it looks more like a, oh my god, what's the name of that gun? It starts with a G. It's like GMC, not GMC, but GSC or something like that. It looks more like that. The Stalker actually looks more like a UMP, but the iron sights are wrong. Like, let me show you. I'll just go base. So, the iron sights on the UMP have a closed loop on the front, right? It has a closed loop on the front, and the back has the half moon sight, right? This weapon has it reversed. So it does have the body of a UMP, kind of, but it's not the UMP. It definitely doesn't perform like the UMP. The UMP from Modern Warfare 2, that was probably one of the best guns in COD history. And the reason that most people are saying let me put the security back on because I gotta level it up. The reason people are saying they want the UMP, at least everybody that I talk to, the circles that I run in, is because we just got these. These are the Model 1887s from Modern Warfare 2. So they're more than willing to bring back weapons, you know, from Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 3, the original games. They then nerfed them to hell, because when these things first came out, even though they didn't work correctly, they were still a menace. So they nerfed these things into the ground. Like, they're, honestly, I would say they're not even really worth running anymore. Except for the fun factor and the nostalgic factor. Those two things make these shotguns incredibly fun to use. Okay? Incredibly. Okay? Other than that, though, they could have became meta. They were going to replace the meta. That's how good they were. But, gotta protect the babies, gotta protect the new players. This gun, however, I foresee coming into the meta. The FR Advancer, look at that TTK. Recoil's not that bad. Only thing I would say is the kick is a little strong, so I wouldn't go for a full-on mobility build. And as you can see, the ADS time is not great, but you can fix that with the right laser. You know? I'm using this one for the sprint to fire speed, because this thing needs it, but the rate of fire, the time to kill on this gun are very good. I actually could see this thing coming into the meta. That and the Fel 45, which is basically the MP7. That thing is still valid in this game. Okay? Hang on, let me see if I can find it. The Phoenix still pretty good too. But yeah. This thing is still very good. Not at range, but inside of 20 meters, very good gun. And it's not, like, it doesn't really have a downside. It's very light, it's very quick, very mobile. Especially being a Modern Warfare 2 gun, because the MW2 guns don't really work that well. Mainly due to the increased health pool in this game. And these are still tuned for the 100 health points, like it used to be in MW2. But some of them still perform really well. Even that. I mean, so back to my original point, which for some reason got lost. With all the SMGs that we have and the way that they perform and what they can do, The Superior is just kind of underwhelming. It just feels mid on a gun that really could have been meta. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this particular episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not yet, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button if you found yourself enjoying the content. If not, dislike the video, but leave a comment. Let me know what type of videos you'd like to see in the future. Once again, it's your boy Grimmy Tim. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace out.